Three, two, one, start. Namaste, salam, good evening, Sat Sri Akal to all my global audience. Today I'm back with one. He is Salman Siddiqui from Pakistan. He is a great learner. He wants to do something to help them learn. He helps students to learn and good teacher as well. So we'll today interview Salman with us, and I'll ask Salman to. Hi Salman, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Namaste, Assalamu alaikum, Sat Sri Akal. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you people are. Stay happy, stay blessed.
Salman, this on your timeline. Like you can go to my timeline and you can share it from there, so that we'll have more friends.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. And then we'll continue. Just give me a second as well, so that I will share this on
Sure
some
thing,
pages as well.
Have you posted it on your timeline?
So you find the first post. Yeah, it's there.
Yeah,
So, just yep. So we are done, Salman. Thank you for waiting, and thank you for our audience for waiting. Salman, so tell us, give us some short or like detailed, whatever you want to give. What is your introduction? How do you?
Well, I'm an MBA in finance. Alhamdulillah, gold medalist. My core field of study is finance. I am a level 2 CFA candidate. What I have for people, what I want to give to people is whatever the sort of expertise I have. I'm something I'd categorize as a work in progress, but I still give away happily whatever I have. I am passionate about teaching people. I'm passionate about it. It's been a passion. I cannot even recall. I cannot imagine how far I'll have to go down my timeline to find out how long has it been my passion. So I want to give it to the people. I want to teach. I'm a good teacher. Yeah, I get that. People do tell me that, people do share their views about me, about my style of teaching. So that's what I have for the people around me. And now, because sorry for that, because we have come so closer. We are actually right now live on Facebook using the Be Live platform. It's we are living in a condensed world now, right? We have come closer. The internet, the social networking, it's bringing us closer and closer. Like, there are no borders anymore, so we don't have to worry about that. So I am someone who is pro technology. That's one more thing I'd add about myself: pro technology. And using information technology tools, I can not only just do good for the people around me, but also for the people, whoever seeks my help. And as I always tell people who I'm always connected to, I tell them I'm always a text away, I'm always an email away, I'm always a call away. You just have to call me, you just have to tell me you need my help, and I'll be there. And my passion is for teaching goes to such limits that if you want to learn something from me, if there's something I can give to you, I'll actually hold the door for you. I'll be your doorman if you want to learn. I'll be humble. I'll teach you. I wouldn't tell you it's not good that you don't know stuff. If I have something, if I know something, if I have knowledge about something, I am against retaining it. I shouldn't retain it. I do not retain it. I give full disclosure. Whoever the person is, who whatsoever they ask, I give them full disclosure if they want to learn. And yeah, I can actually identify who can learn, who cannot, because I'm myself a learner. So I know who people are just here for fun purposes and who are actually, inclined towards this philosophy of learning.
Thank I request uh, broadcast on their timeline. Thanks, Salman, and then
You're
we have
welcome, Ali Usman
Ali
Zafar.
Malla.
You're welcome.
Ali Hassan Malla also, he says, nice Salman. So
Thank
okay,
you.
we share like what I usually is like I'm one person who identifies with people with like whatever is common with me, and then like I try to get commonality between and my guest. So I see like this is a common thread. We said you're a good learner, and you are a good before this we started this talk interview. You said like you were running some projects as well on learning, like you are helping people how to learn. So can you
Yeah.
share those projects with us? Like what projects you're working on currently?
Currently, what I'm trying to do is I'm establishing an outreach. I am an alumnus of Muhammad Ali Jinnah University based in Karachi. So what I do is I tell people enrolled there or the alumni themselves, what I tell them is you can ask me if you have any problem, if you're stuck somewhere, if you need my help in studies, you can ask me. Like what I'm trying to do is instead of people, because I know people, the sorts of students I encounter, sorts of students I have spent my time with, they are mostly introverts. And what happens, they do not open up. If even if they have a question, they think, oh, this is a question, this is not that much of a big deal, it might be a stupid question to ask. What I want to tell them is no question is stupid, you just ask it. Like you have to ask something, if there's something inside your head buzzing you, you want to ask it, you just have to ask it. You don't have to feel shy about it. You don't have to wait on somebody else to ask it. You just have to ask it yourself. So I'm trying to tell people you should feel good, you should feel all comfy talking to me. So I'm starting with my university, the university from which I graduated from. So that's one thing. And the other thing I'm actively doing is I'm running a WhatsApp group. It's for CFA students, level 1 and level 2 CFA students. And what we do in a group, we're like a big family. Comprised of actually. So what we do is, if anybody encounters a problem, just post it on the group and somebody just answers it. So including me, I just, if there's this question on my group and it's just laying there and nobody's answering it, I answer it. Like I have to make sure I answer it. I actually sacrifice my own studies and give it number one priority to answer the question. So that's my philosophy. I have to be open to people. I want people to feel comfy around me. So this is what I think I should start from. The outreach, expanding it, how many people I can communicate with. So yeah, these are the things I am actually working on, and they're going fine. They're going good by their own pace, and I hope I'm going to do good in the future too.
What I see is like you have touched a very basic on to learning is questioning. Like unless you question things, you won't learn.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
learning for me, applying things to in a situation part of the world where we are all lost. The one who introduced the education system in India
Yes.
combined. So like he introduced this system and this beings
Questioning.
the concept of questioning was never introduced. Like and we still follow that. I know like we follow that in India. For our students to question like for your for like how we like were you or like whenever you asked a stupid question what would teacher's reaction in journal
I've seen teachers,
uh,
I've seen teachers.
yeah,
Sorry
go
if
ahead.
I've interrupted you. I've
No,
seen
no, no, go ahead.
teachers.
Sorry.
Uh, when I was uh, going through my MBA, when I was doing my MBA, I have seen teachers. If you ask a stupid question, so what they do is they actually humiliate the student, and that's not a nice thing to do. What that does, like if you humiliate, like if there are like 100 students sitting in a classroom, and if you humiliate one student for asking a stupid question, so like you're left with 99 people who are not gonna ask a stupid question. So yeah, that's a very big, it's a big no-no in my dictionary. It's not a good approach to things. Questions are never stupid. I can see, like, it all depends on perspective. Everything, most of the things actually in the world are subjective. It's about how I perceive things. It's about how you perceive things, Kapil. So what am I trying to say is, for example, I want four for an answer to a question. Like the answer to that question is four. I can say 2 plus 2 is 4. Somebody else can say 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. Somebody can say it's 0.5 plus 0. Like go on, then add those 0.5s and you'd come up to 4. So it's all subjective. And I do want one thing. I do want one revolution in the academic structure of my country. Is they should keep this thing in mind, that things are subjective, things are not objective. It's not like, you just, like, if you perceive things being like if you take things for being objective and not subjective, what you're actually trying to do is you're trying to train people, not educate them. Like, subjectivity is a part and parcel of education, not training. You can easily train people, you can even train a dog, but you cannot actually educate it. People should be educated, people should not be trained. Training is like, okay, what you have to do is, like, it's a 9 to 5 life. You should expect that after you graduate from university. And for that purpose, we have to train you well. And in order to train you well, what we should do is we should tell you this very fact, that our perception is better than yours. So you should not be subjective, you should not be open to things. What you should do is you should accept our perception, and just let go of yours. So dealing with stupid questions in a funny way, humiliating, ridiculing the student, that's a very bad thing to do. And as you were saying, questioning should be, if not the the very ground of teaching, or the very ground of the educational system, but it should be a very important part of it. That's my take on this. Because if you do not question things, you're not understanding. You're thinking that the understanding of those things is limited to what you already know. But if you question it, you're gonna explore new domains. You like things you wouldn't know. if you do not question those things. So Urdu mein, there's this saying in Urdu, शक करना, सवाल करना, ये अक्लमंदी की निशानी है. Like questioning is, it's a perquisite of being an intellectual. So that's where actually, in my opinion, the intellect of a person starts. Like it starts from questioning.
I do like like first thing we have just edited that part, like we've made it इसको like what we call in करके पास हो जाओ. uh, like in the school, and like mostly people go to a business school, like though it is known as masters in business administration, but usually go way of looking at it, like they're not masters but they to the corporate, like
Puppets.
business school was yeah, puppets. Why I went to the business, like how to make a business plan, because I was having uh, like more entrepreneurship, how to make business plan. And during this 2 years I was only questioning, I was only asking this, like few teach us how to make business plan, and during that full 2 years they never touched that part out. I would say like that was a like I'm not sure I would say it a mistake, but that was the biggest thing I missed. So like when you went to the business school, did they teach plan or something like that?
When I went to the business school, what I saw, like the very first semester, trimester actually, uh, an approach I I do not like, So what they would do is like they'd be this course outline. For example, we've been given a book, Cengage Learning. Everybody follows those books. So we've been given those books. I've been told right in the beginning of the trimester that these are your course outlines, and you'd be, by the end of the course, you are actually, required to know all this in order to pass your final exam. So it was like you were limiting the student. So other side of the coin, it is actually the responsibility of the student too. What I observed was there was a course outline, and the course outline say you have to go through till chapter number 13, for example, but there are actually like 24 chapters in the book, but you wouldn't cover the remaining chapters. You just let them just be the part of the book that you're not going to read. You're just going to go till chapter number 13 and you'd stop there, right? Because that's actually, just your syllabus covers that much. You're not required to know what comes in chapter number 14 to chapter number 23. It limits you. What I used to do is my I wouldn't be satisfied if I do not finish that book. I would not care about it. I'm bound by the syllabus or something. Like if they are not teaching me budget constraints in the classroom, or I'm not going to be tested on the exam about budget constraints, what I'm going to do is I'm still going to read it. And Kapil, the good thing about it was that it opened my mind. uh, I might be the only student from my university who opted the CFA curriculums as the CFA certification, and I found my habit of not following the syllabus, actually going beyond it. I found it very useful. I found it like it has it benefits me. Reading more than I'm required to. Reading has no limits. Learning has no limits. Educating yourself has no limits. It's a continuing process. You should not stop. If the university tells you this is your syllabus, this is how much you are supposed to know. You're not. You're not. Yeah, it's a foolish approach if you actually stop there. It's like, you're paying for that. You have to have good grades and stuff. I was I was good at studies. I'm still good at studies. I can manage reading different things apart from my syllabus or the books. I was, the university would say you have to go through those books. I would, read other books through other sources too. I am still that kind of a student because I don't want to limit myself. So that policy in a business school, you're right. It just creates slavery. People with this mindset that they'd be corporate puppets, like and in the long run, if you see them, or not in the long run, in the short run, if you see your colleagues who limited themselves to read or constrained by the syllabus, like, you find it funny because they still do not have the insight, they still do not have the intellect to understand the things that were beyond the course. The course, it limits you. It is not supposed to limit you. An academic institution is not supposed to limit you. It has to be something that brings out the best in you. And, like, what if there's this student XYZ who would be, who has this sharp mind in something that will come in chapter number 23, but you're not going to read chapter number 23, so bad luck.
Rajneesh, he says has no birth control. Once you get a glimpse of the knowledge of something, it gets you to another. Then you'll seek for something else, and then you'll seek to something else, and then once you are into that mindset, back go subject, and then it opens something else, and then something else, then something else. So, like, we which is in our joy, like when you think to another. But never in my college there was a class. Okay, today we'll all those, and when then we have three, and then you go for masters. All that today will go to the schools to learn.
Exactly.
I taught. Do you have something, a subject how to learn?
No, nobody has a subject named how to learn. Because people think that comes naturally, and it does come naturally until something wrong with your system
But
crushes that thing that comes naturally. Learning comes naturally. Learning is a basic human instinct, because we never knew how to create. I work in a cement company, the cement manufacturing company, so the human never knew how to create cement, so we learned. So learning is a very natural process, and if something connected to the system, if something's stopping that thing, if something's creating barricades and barriers in the process of learning, then that's a very harmful thing, not just to one individual but to the society at large too.
Understand learning, you can still develop. If you can learn something at a if we develop, we know the how to learn, we can make a person learn on a 10x scale. So that was my
Exactly.
idea. Like if we have a subject called learning how to learn, but then I know it
Exactly.
longer consider education like a charity kind of thing. But if a person the this is
Cannot hear you. I cannot hear you.
refresh your refresh
I
your browser.
cannot hear you. Refresh my browser. Would it do something to the link?
Saying refresh the browser and again.
Wait a second.
Wait for our guest come online. Thank you, Rana. Thank you,
Thank you, Rana.
Ali Hassan.
It's nice to see people. Be Live is a very nice. I didn't know it. I didn't know about Be Live, the platform, but I do see the opportunity here. I can use this platform
Yeah.
actually. I can use this
Yes,
platform to
once you
expand my outreach. I was actually thinking about it. There was this person who was doing this live stream on Facebook yesterday, and he was talking about the kinds of equipment he's using. And I'd say, we spend a lot of money on stuff we don't even want. Everybody does that. When they're done that sort of a thing, it's a very nominal investment.
yeah,
And sorry, you were saying something? There is some problem with the connection.
uh, uh,
Nice discussion.
we both refresh our. I'll refresh my browser.
Okay, I'm gonna refresh mine too.
What I was saying, like, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
So that's a basic problem, I think, with the software that you need to refresh once in a while.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, like Be Live, we were discussing about Be Live. Like it's a thing, like a lot of stuff depends on your reputation. Or I am using it for some time now.
Hmm.
I can think n number of ways you can use it for, not just this. discussion. You can use it for teaching or
Exactly, exactly. Expanding your
even think.
outreach.
I can even think of people doing conflict management or conflict resolution on this platform.
Exactly,
And it can be
exactly.
very good training stuff, like lot uh, like it's the next thing, like a email, and then this browser came in, and it was a revolutionary thing. Then blogging came in.
Exactly.
Next, YouTube was there for one-sided videos. And create your own
Exactly.
channels, like some local cities. Our friend Rana is here right now. He has tied up with few people, and they're trying to create a channel for their own city, like on online channel.
Nice.
They are not covered the local news, like the small cities. They only cover the big cities. So
Yeah. Yeah.
reach is like our, and
Outreach. Yeah.
it's up to your brain, like what you can think of.
Exactly. You have the
Coming back to
tools.
our topic, yeah, coming
Sure.
back to our topic, like I will try to wrap up this, because you are like apart from WhatsApp, like already having a group, like have you used YouTube or uh, Zoom, or like what more other modern technologies do you use for teaching people?
Uh, I have not used, anything other than WhatsApp because I'm still exploring
Okay,
stuff. And
okay, that's good.
I just came across BeLive like a week ago. I didn't know about this platform.
Okay.
However, I'm always active on social media, and I'm a very tech friendly guy. But I didn't know about the platform, and I do hope it is in one of my plans that I am going to start something on YouTube or a platform like YouTube, uh, on which I might share my videos, make lectures and stuff. And I have this all planned. I'm gonna invest some capital into it, and I wouldn't mind doing it because it's a passion. It relates to something that I like to do, so I wouldn't mind doing it. So yeah, things are in pipeline.
A very technical term from the, what kind of capital would you need YouTube channel?
I do channel. I need a very tiny space for starters, and that I have. I need something that, they call it a green screen. I find it very fascinating. A backdrop,
Okay.
and you can change stuff. And I'm thinking about those neat looking uh, those tablets. You can draw on them and the output comes on a computer screen. It might be on a PowerPoint slide, and you just use it as a pencil or a pen, and just write stuff on it, uh, not messing up your not messing up your writing. As you can draw stuff from using your mouse too, but it messes up how you actually write. That's not natural handwriting. So I'm thinking about that too. And what I'm like, backdrop can be a PowerPoint slide for starters, and I can write stuff on that. Like, I'm explaining this topic, I write down the formula, break down the formula, try to explain it. So yeah, I want to do it, and I'll do it because things are changing. So why shouldn't we? Like, think that people are getting more inclined towards technology, so we shouldn't stop too if we can. Like, this is a free platform we are using right now, and if it can provide benefit and value addition to something you're already doing, then you must go for it. It's free after all. Amount of capital invested in would be nominal. I've already mentioned that because we already, I buy stuff I don't even need, I don't even use after buying
Uh-huh.
it. So why not investing in something that's is parallel to what I want to do in the future?
Green fancy. You can have in our part of the world, like the cloth is very cheap, so
Uh-huh.
green chunni, which should be slightly fluorescent kind of green. So
Yeah. It has
that
to be
works.
green though.
It has an I would say seen a video on that, but the green works better. So
Uh-huh.
give you that chroma effect. So
Uh-huh.
I was experimenting. I just dropped that idea, but uh, background. So
Uh-huh.
that doesn't work. I'm still uh, I make it fancy. I'm okay with this. Because let's see, uh, as we are talking about the modern technology and we're talking about new stuff coming up, done some kind of courses online like MOOCs or Udemy courses, open courses.
What sorry? What courses?
See, it stands for Massive Online Open Courses. Because
Okay.
you are into learning and you're teaching, so I'm just trying to find
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
before I wrap up. Study up, learn, try to learn a method called Trivium. It's uh, TRIBUM, Trivium, which means meeting of three rivers. It is a basically ancient teaching methodology which was used in an Latin time. Like it's a very old methodology. Trivium and quadrivium. There are two different kind of methodologies. Trivium method works. Human learn. It's not something. First is the grammar. Like if you understand the grammar part of the language, you have
Yeah.
you're learning. After the grammar part comes the logic part, which we discussed earlier, is kind of what we call questioning. Like
Yeah.
unless you question logic in part. So first was the grammar. Second was what we what you do. Is you tell some words what you have learned.
Exactly.
Your learning is your from our teaching. Uh, also not stressed much these days. The grammar part is there, but somehow it we have gone into this logic. You know, I don't think in a subject in a degree called MA philosophy there is a special subject called logic.
Uh-huh.
And the third, rhetoric. I would uh, suggest if you can look at these two things like
I
Trivium
will.
and MOOCs.
I will.
Okay, and it's almost an hour now, so we'll try to wrap up now. Anything you your future plans or anything you want to convey to the audience today?
I just like to say, do not stop questioning. Question stuff. Questioning
Yeah, I have the
is a
same
natural
thing, like
process.
question stuff,
Yeah,
explore
like you have
things.
said, yeah, explore things. Exploring is always good. Like if something is harmful, you still, you'd find out this is harmful. Stop doing that. But try to explore things. Try to learn new things. Meet new people. Talk to new people. You'd always have different things to learn from different people. Every new person you meet, and every person you actually do not meet, you have bundle of stories, bundle of new things. You just forgone. You not didn't even bother learning them. So every other person you meet, and the every other person you would never meet, like that's an opportunity cost for not meeting people, new people. And be open to ideas, always be adaptive. That's all I have to say.
Salman, thank you for joining me today.
No
Um,
problem.
and I'll like to thank my audience as well, who was very supportive and Ali, Mazhar, and Rana, and Ali Hassan. So thank you all who joined us. It was
Thank
great
you all. Thank you
pleasure
all.
talking to you.
Jazakallah. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. It's
We'll meet
likewise.
some broadcast now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.